Hi, this is Carl with Kenosha Military Surplus and Historic Military Impression, your leader in museum quality exhibits that add value to public events. This program is going to be on World War II German helmets. Now, when the Nazis came to power, they were still using the World War I style helmet, either the M16 or the M18 helmets. Basically, these are referred to as transition helmets. You have the two Frankenstein bolts on the side that were there to add the ballistic plate to the front of the helmet. This example is missing its suspension. However, it's ideal because you can see the lot number in the very base of the helmet and the very top of the crown. And you can also see the manufacturer and the size. The manufacturer, like this would be basically the two letters, and then in this case a 64, so size 64. As the Germans were moving closer to World War II, they decided that they wanted to replace the World War I style helmet. So the first example is an M35 helmet. Obviously, it was introduced in 1935. Very similar silhouette. However, they got rid of the Frankenstein bolts. The easiest way to tell an M35 helmet from the other ones, it has a rolled edge along the bottom, and the air vent on the side of the helmet is actually an extra rivet, so it'll be domed out. You can also feel inside of it and feel the inside of the rivet. Originally, you'll find that this metal piece on the inside that holds the suspension and the leather in place was aluminum. However, a lot of them were reused, so it's very common, like this example, to find them where it's steel. The easiest way to tell the difference is take a magnet and see if you could stick it to this metal shiny rim on the outside of that leather here, whether it sticks or not. This example is also very fortunate that it was named, and on some examples of helmets you will also find the manufacturer in the side, either here in the back of the helmet or on the side of the helmet right underneath where the chin strap attaches, with a lot number in the back of the helmet. As Germany entered World War II, they needed to start producing helmets quicker. So the first change that they made to the helmet was the M40. Basically, still has a rolled edge, but the rivet is no longer an actual separate rivet. Now it's just a stamping in the helmet making the vent hole. In 1942, they make their final change to the helmet. Their first version of the M42 helmet actually looks like a a post-World War II East German helmet. They field tested some. The Führer, Adolf Hitler, did not like the style of helmet, so they went back to the classic style, except to save time, instead of rolling the bottom edge, they just left it unrolled. So the same amount of metal's there, but it kind of flares out a little bit. This actually makes a good fighting edge. If you were to fight with the helmet and hit someone with it, it's actually a little bit sharper than one with the rolled edge. Another thing you'll hear a lot of in collecting is single decal versus double decal. Early on, next to each of the vent holes, they would put a decal on the helmet. In this case, you could see the Wehrmacht decal for the Army, and on the other side would be the National German tricolor. SS would have their own version of a decal. This example is probably a volunteer, foreign volunteer that was fighting with the SS because it's on backwards, on the wrong side. As time went on, they stopped putting the national tricolor on the helmet and would only put the single branch of service. So now you have a single decal helmet. However, by 1942, they were supposed to take the decals off. And before they made this change to take the decals off, they actually had a lot of guys where they were issued their helmet and were given the decals to put on. So sometimes you'll see slight errors in how the decals were attached. However, by the end of the war, like I said, this one is camouflaged completely over. And if you look carefully, there's crackling in the paint where the decal is supposed to be, which means that the decal was there, it just was painted over. You also start seeing the use of the camouflage cover. The covers actually serve two purposes. One, obviously camouflage. The other purpose is if you ever take a steel helmet out, set a steel helmet in the sun, and set a same type of helmet next to it with the camouflage cover on it, and if you let them sit there for about 10-15 minutes, if you put your hand on the steel one, you'll probably burn yourself. If you put your hand on the one that has a cloth cover on it, you'll find that it's a lot cooler. So as a way to help the helmets not heat up as well as provide some type of camouflage. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I'm Carl Bogar with Kenosha Military Surplus and Historic Military Impressions. If you like these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook. For Kenosha Military Surplus, our store activities, we are at HMI Surplus. For our history activities and our exhibits, we are at HMI History. Thank you, and thank you for watching.